The headlines tonight: Euro MPs' new headsets play the sound of screaming women. Brian Ferry bath mat poisonous, say lab. And bouncing elephantiasis woman destroys central Portsmouth. Those are the headlines. Happy now? Hello, sir. On the day-to-day tonight, MP in heartless outburst after bomb goes off in Hurd's bath.
Well, one bomb's going off in the Foreign Secretary's hand, but all he does is say, well, I didn't need that hand anyway.
And a warm handshake from Michael Heseltine for the children he is about to release into the woods and shoot.
How do you do? Nice to say hello to you.
The Bank of England is in chaos following the discovery that the pound has been stolen. As the news broke, trading rooms were plunged into chaos. Even seasoned campaigners known for grace under pressure reduced to squawking the day's panicked cry.
What's happening?
What's happening? The pound was stolen at 1:30 this afternoon by thieves dressed as cleaners. They drove a white Montego. Helicopter police gave chase, but despite the shunt, the men escaped, making good with their legs across open ground. As city markets crashed and flew off, the government tried to stabilise the economy with an emergency currency based on the Queen's eggs, several thousand of which were removed from her ovaries in 1953 and held in reserve. This meant anyone mad enough to seize on the panic selling of dead pounds could become a dollar millionaire in less than an hour.
How much money have you personally made today?
Probably about 10 million.
Wow.
Throughout the day, bank officials have refused to confirm the rumours that the pound was only vulnerable at all because they removed it to play with at lunchtime and forgot to put it back. Later tonight, we'll be asking Malcolm Rifkin for his view and asking him why he likes pulling the legs off live dogs and shooting foreign policemen.
The day-to-day homicide news.
I'm Alan Partridge. Hello. Rally driving. The championships start tonight, but here's what I got up to this morning. Hi, you join me with Susie Haarp, one of this Britain's top lady rally drivers. Susie, you're going to be subjecting me to some atrocious punishment. What's that?
Well, I'm going to take you around the course that I won the rally on recently.
Right, fantastic. And the stickers, what are the stickers for?
Advertising.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Really is that simple. Before we go around the course, just to explain, this is a modern camera that will be watching all my facial movements. It's the size of a slim Panatella cigar. One more thing, it's a great model, it goes like a bomb, and the car's not bad either. Come on, let's go burn some rubber. I see you quite, Oh, hey! Hey! Spunky lady!
Hence the bumpiness.
Yeah, certainly know how to handle this bitch. You keep her in line. I like it. It's good. You take it by the scruff of the neck and you let it know who's the queen. The car's the bitch. You're the queen and I like it. Yeah, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Easy. Easy. Whoa!
See what I'm doing with
What's
the steering?
What's there?
Yeah.
Why are you stupid? Watch out for that! Careful! Well, whilst driving like she was, maybe big and clever on the rally track, it certainly isn't on a housing estate. Remember, lives matter. Chris.
It's been revealed that the junior Treasury Minister, Michael Portillo, carries a sawn-off shotgun to constituency meetings, corners children in parks and chews their cheeks, and has frequent sexual intercourse with stray animals, claiming, as long as it's got a backbone, I'll do it. That story we reported last week and have since discovered it to be untrue.
Paul Botang.
Do you feel that young people are taking the right cues from their culture?
I think young people make a contribution and indeed form the culture in which they live and in which we all live.
How do you feel about some of the more dangerous elements of their cultural melee?
I don't know what you mean by their more dangerous elements.
We're talking bang. I'm talking guns. I'm talking about people like Uzi MC, the Blood Rap movement, Herman the Tosser. How do you feel when young people are presented with the sort of stuff that they're churning out?
I think it's rather sad.
When somebody listens to Herman the Tosser?
And I think that there are very many young people who are turned off by that violence, by that sexism, by that racism, and by that homophobia.
Are you levelling all those accusations at Herman the Tosser?
No, I'm not. Herman the Tosser is not someone who has invaded my own particular consciousness.
And
although clearly he has invaded yours, it is a concern of yours. It sounds to me rather.
It sounds to me too.
It sounds to me rather.
And it sounds to me too.
Rather an unpleasant
name,
but he may be a delightful and inoffensive person.
The day today. The last scintilla of doubt just rode out of town.
The American serial killer Chapman Baxter is to be executed today by the dead body of his last victim. Barbara Wintergreen reports.
Florida State Penitentiary and killer Chapman Baxter has dug deep into his past for tomorrow's execution ceremony.
The best kind of justice would be if my last victim, Colin Magnifivent, could be dug up and he could kill me.
At Oregon's Magnifivent Center, Dr. Travis Davely has been fleshing out Chapman's unusual carcass request.
Do the arm movements once more.
Coffin Boffin Travis has undertaken to manometrize Colin Magnifivent, the man who Baxter blasted in the past. He's even helping him to speak from the grave.
There's three sample voices. The first one is a kind of generic voice.
Justice.
The second one is Martin Sheen.
Justice.
And the third one, it's my favorite, Louis Armstrong.
Justice.
All of America is electrified by this vigilante victim. He's appeared in a cavalcade of front covers and chat shows and has squeezed new life into fruit juice ads.
Tangiest fruit juice you've ever tasted. Then there ain't no.
Justice.
Live Wire Acavito is dating supermodel Kendall Ball, who seems stuck on the stiff.
Colin's kind of cute. He's strong and silent, and doesn't bullshit me like other guys.
Do you get to spend a lot of time alone together?
Well, no, because Travis is always with us, but I kind of like it that way.
I've got this little dream whereby there's a whole village of reanimated corpses, and if you like, a kind of control tower in the center of that village with a bank of monitors, and I control all the corpses.
Why use corpses? Why not normal people? Why don't you just leave things the way they are?
Because normal people, because I wouldn't have my tower. I want a tower.
The day of justice, and Baxter gets to renew his acquaintance with a body of evidence.
In whose voice do you wish justice to be done?
Martin Sheen.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Colin needs a few moments to decompose himself before delivering a stiff charge to Baxter.
Justice.
So, as Chapman Baxter came here to bury his past, looks like his past has come to bury him. This is Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News at the Corpsecution, Florida State Penitentiary.
BBC Mandarins are bleating again, this time because their new soap opera, The Bureau, has just plummeted out of the ratings. A BBC spokesman said, "Don't read too much into the fact that we're sending them out on tour to the regions on the back of a truck. It's not to drum up support, it's just standard policy for all programmes." Have a look, shall we?
Maria?
Yeah?
You know I'm gay? Well, do you think it's possible for a gay man to love a woman?
Of course it is, Guy. There's no rules to love. You've got to follow your heart.
Maria?
Yeah?
I love you.
Watch out, it's Hannity.
Boy, I'm trying to run a high-class bureau de change, not some two-bit nipple peep show in Rio de Janeiro.
Ange, where you been all day? We've been worrying about you.
It's not Ange anymore, actually. It's Mrs. Hannity to you.
A cat meows, a horse neighs, a lion roars, a bird sings, a snake hisses, a human barks.
Time now for business with Calately Sisters.
Thanks, Chris.
You do it! Get it now! No, you get it! It's over there!
Arguments like that broke out on the international markets today when economic talks collapsed and Spain withdrew from the world and began trading with itself. The peseta burst open at 4. The pound was barely audible this morning. It rotted by 3.9 points against the dollar, and there was further bad news for coat developers Watney Heckbulb, who were ordered to cease trading because of bad burping. Chris. On now to the money markets and a quick look at the international finance arse. And there you can see the US and Japanese cheeks started off with a gap of 2.4, but increased trading forced the two together to form a unified arse at around lunchtime, which held for the rest of the day. In summary then, oh no, Chris?
For a second night running, London's police are out in force clamping the homeless. The new measures have been in operation since Monday and are already proving successful.
The clamps are bolted onto any homeless person found asleep or motionless after 9 p.m. at night. This is the time when London's street people start accumulating in doorways, many of them drunk and pissed up on booze. The clamps ensure that any homeless who has caused a blockage is forced to stay put when they wake up. They've probably been sick too. They are then prosecuted and punished.
And reaction to the new measures has been strong. So far, we've spoken to Kim Wilde.
Does it make you feel bad when they clamp homeless people on the Strand?
When they clamp them?
Yeah. Businesses on the Strand getting in people to clamp them so they can't move away, and then they're persecuted. And then they fine them for being in the way.
I didn't know that. That's awful.
Would you call for clamps to be illegalised?
Certainly on human beings. It's obscene.
Environmation from me, Rosie May. A revolution in household heating is sweeping across America. Frozen fire. Normal fire is solidified in special cold furnaces and packaged for home freezer storage. It can then be defrosted at a later date and poured onto logs. Frozen fire saves heat. The echo from the nuclear bomb which destroyed Hiroshima is set to devastate the city again. Half of the original blast has ricocheted off Jupiter and will strike Japan in 2041. It's not yet known whether the city will be evacuated. I'm Rosie May. Tread not on the forest leaves, for you tread on my face.
Today is the anniversary of 1944. People did different things then and lived different lives. This day-to-day reminiscence package features contemporary memories and footage from a time when a 5-speed, 3-litre Ford Capri was the stuff of a madman's dreams.
What was the food situation like in those days?
Oh, it was dreadful. Of course it was dreadful. Sometimes we even had to eat bits of the house, bricks, and the mortar was tastier than the actual bricks because, I mean, after all, that had been mixed up once, and so you could mix it up again. We used to try to get it off other people's houses, of course, first, and houses that had been bombed and broken down. But sometimes you had to eat your own house, and it was better to find yourself without a house than without food.
Electricity was very, very expensive, but you had to have a light of some kind, so we had the... Perhaps, I don't know, we thought it was quite a good idea. You see, babies have such a lot of energy. They're always on the go. So we used to connect the house to a baby, and that used to keep the lights going.
I don't remember much about 1945 because that was the year, that was my hibernation year.
Can I have your name?
Elwood Vickery.
You'd go and get your ticket and find out when you had to hibernate, and then you'd be given just a few weeks to get yourself organised. And, you know, you knew you had to keep going. We got into a box and curled up, and you went to sleep. It was our bit of the war effort, really, to keep ourselves out of the way.
Well, during the war, everybody was called up to be in the war cabinet, and I was called up to be the foreign secretary for a month. So there I was in meetings and having to express opinions, and I had to travel abroad. I went over